So, welcome to the first episode of my series where I am going from not doing so great to hopefully doing everything I tell you should do in order to start feeling a bit better, getting in a better financial position, and enjoying life a little bit more. Um, firstly, I'm just going to break down my current situation. So, I guess it makes sense for us to start with finances. So I am currently $9,709.08 in debt. Now that is in New Zealand dollars, so that's equates to around 5,886 and 52 cents in US dollars. Um, it's not terrible, but I am paying interest on that debt. Um, I also do have student loans, but we'll just forget about them for the time being. I'm working a job that I really hate. It's not the worst job, but it's just a bit soul destroying, you know? I feel like I have more potential than working a minimum wage job that I just really don't enjoy. So that job currently brings in about 700 New Zealand or 425 US, and that's weekly. So this is my physique. I'm not happy with the way I look. I feel skinny and I feel weak and I really lack energy. Here is my skin, which is also not great. I've always struggled with acne, but there was a phase when I was in a bit of a better time where I didn't really get acne. I'm 27 now, and yeah, I've still got a little bit of acne that does make me feel pretty shitty sometimes. So hopefully we can fix that. I have quite low confidence and I get really bad social anxiety. I I think the new job has slightly helped because it's a customer facing role. I've been doing it for around a month and I do feel that my social anxiety is getting a bit better just from being around people, but I still do struggle with it. I would shiver, like I would shake uncontrollably before going to work. This was the first week. It kind of went away, but yeah, the first week I would shake uncontrollably. I would have really irregular bowel movements. I wouldn't be able to eat. Sometimes I'd feel a bit sick, and yeah, it was just horrible. But yeah, going and doing a month, I'm feeling a lot better about it. Um, I was like, I knew that I needed to get out there, which is kind of why I opted for doing that job, which is a bit more customer focused because it forces me into them interactions. Uh, yeah, like they say, if you don't want to do something, that's even more reason why you should do it. Because you're doing something that you don't want to do, then you're probably growing and learning from it. So yeah, it's been a good start, but I definitely have a long way to go with my confidence and being having better social anxiety and being less shy and stuff like that. I'm definitely an introvert, but I've not always been this way. I feel like in the last couple of years, I've kind of gone into a bit of a shell. Um, yeah, so it'd be nice to get back to what I believe is my normal self. My wardrobe consists of mostly battered secondhand clothes, hand-me-downs, I don't feel good in them, and I've really been putting off buying new clothes because I've been in debt, and it just doesn't seem like a priority for me. But I think now I'm kind of thinking that it is a bigger issue than, because I just feel shitty all the time, like I don't feel good about myself. So I think getting some clothes that make me feel a bit better about how I look is definitely, or definitely should be on the cards. Um, so I am starting with a few bits of gear. So I've got a MacBook, so I can do work on that, which is great. I've got a camera that I used to use for photography. Um, I've got an iPhone, which I'm recording on now, a little speaker as well. So I can at least make these basic, simple videos for now. I definitely want to invest in some better gear so I can make better videos and hopefully help more people eventually. Um, but yeah, that is definitely on the back burner because there's more important issues right now. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. If anyone does have any advice or any material for um, creating videos, I understand the basics of like a hook and you need a good thumbnail and that sort of stuff, but that's basically it. So if anyone has any resources or any advice or guidance, it would very much be appreciated. Um, so yeah, just to summarize, um, the main issues in my life right now are not having enough money, being unfit and feeling skinny, having bad skin, working a job that I just really hate, having low confidence, suffering from social anxiety, not liking the clothes in the wardrobe that I have, um, and then having basic gear to make videos with, which is obviously a low priority on that list, but it would be nice to be able to make some better videos for you guys. Um, yeah, so I don't know if you can tell from my aura. Well, I'm quite low confidence. I stutter a fair bit. I have a lot of filler words, so I guess I can add to that list. I would like to um, be able to flow more freely and not stutter and all of that stuff. So yeah, I guess we can add communicating better onto that list. I did want to touch on some skills that I do have because it might be useful in this series. And this is a full transparency, um, full disclosure. If you're watching this, then you're in this with me. So some of the skills I do have is that I'm a fairly decent photographer. I have done paid shoots before and have charged up to probably 600 New Zealand, which is 365 US. I would primarily do dog photography. I do still have a website and social media set up, so we might take advantage of that. Um, I'm also pretty creative and I tend to come up with some pretty good ideas. It's just the executing that I seem to struggle with, and like staying accountable. Um, I did do a business degree, so I have like a broad knowledge of just general business stuff, and I have a basic understanding of marketing. There's still lots that I need to learn, but I do find it quite interesting as well. So that is probably something we will explore. So I think the most important step is to probably get myself in the gym. I really lack confidence and discipline and just general energy. which I've heard going to the gym will help with. So I have just joined a gym. It's 80 New Zealand dollars a month, which is about 50 US. And I think it's a good first step. I think getting myself in the gym should be the first priority because it's a good step in the right direction for my mental health as well as my physical, um, which I think is, yeah, it seems like the most sensible first step. My luckily my brother is a PT, so I don't live in the same area as him, but he has made me a program that I can follow. So he's yeah, it's like an online program he's done me. He's really good, and he's given me tons of tips and helped me with my form. We've had some like long video calls, um, which have been very useful. So I'm feeling a bit more confident about going to the gym now. It's also worth noting that I do have a back problem. It's called scoliosis, if you've heard of it. It basically means that my spine isn't straight. It could potentially cause some issues if I'm not training safely. So it's been really good to get that advice from a PT, especially that it's my brother who like understands my issues and understands me really well, and has been able to help me out. Another thing that I would really love to get on top of quite early is my skin. It does give me quite low confidence. So I've made a skincare routine. I use ChatGPT and some help from my girlfriend to create a routine that I'm going to follow very strictly. I will be habit stacking this with brushing my teeth because I mean I do that twice a day and I've been doing that for years. So it's really easy to just add another habit on top of that. So it will reduce the amount of times that I miss and don't do the skincare. If you are not familiar with habit stacking, I would highly recommend going and reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a really good read, and you get some really practical advice that's like quite easy to take away from the book. One problem that I always find is like I read a book and then I'm like, okay, what did I learn and how can I apply that to my life? Sometimes it can be quite difficult, but that's one of the books that I read and I was like, oh yeah, there's so much that I can apply to my life straight away. So if you're new in maybe following me on this journey and doing it yourself, I would highly recommend going and reading that book. It's one that I've listened to recently. Yeah, and just really practical actions that you can take from it. So I went and bought everything on my skincare list so that I could start straight away. And yeah, this is all of the stuff that I got. The next issue that is a high priority is my financial situation. So I am quite a bit in debt and I am paying interest on that debt. So I really need to pay it off as soon as I can so that I can get to a fresh start, just because I think that would do my mental health. It would just be like a weight off my shoulder, you know? So I do have my job where I get a small income from that, but just with that, it's going to take a fair while to pay it off. Like alongside the interest, it's just going to take too long. So I need to look at ways I can make some quick cash on the side to try and get back to zero as quick as I can. And I think the most realistic way of me actually doing that is through photography. So I do, as I said, I do still have my website live. So there's no extra costs with this. I would just need to do some marketing and hopefully get a couple clients to help me pay back some of this debt. So this is my website, and you might be thinking my prices are quite high. And the reason that they're high is so that I can use my marketing to make my photography service seem like a better deal. Um, I do really value like my photography skill, and I know how many hours go into it. So I do think I am worth that value, but I just need to get people in the door at the moment. It's important for me to pay this back as quickly as possible. So working more hours is not a bad thing. I've got spare time around my job, so I can definitely fit in photo shoots. It's more it's the money that's the issue. So I need to get having a lower price will get me more people through the door. So I know it says $800, but my marketing strategy will say maybe $400 reduced from 800, or maybe 395 reduced to 800. So it will just look a lot more appealing to the customer. And yeah, hopefully that will help me get some clients. Um, it is something I am testing, but I'm hoping that you can see the logic. I I think this is the move. This is probably the easiest way for me to make money straight away with the skills that I do currently have. Um, and yeah, like there's other things that you can obviously do online, or I could get a better, higher paying job or something along those lines. But it all takes time. Whereas this, I can literally start marketing and try and get it going now. So I'm definitely going to get the ball rolling with this. Um, I'll make a couple different versions and post them over the next week. And in the next video, you will see how I get on with that, if I do get any bookings, or if we need to pivot and try something different. So I guess the goal for this week's episode, so moving forward, will be to stay on track with my skincare. I want to basically do a full week of following that skincare routine and see if there's any difference. I don't know if there will be. Maybe it takes longer than a week, but yeah, definitely need to stay on track with that. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times. Um, I will still be doing my job, so I will squeeze that in around the job, and I am going to test the waters with this little side project of photography to see if I can make some extra money to try and get back to zero as soon as possible. Um, I know there's not much on this week's, but seeing as it's the first week, I didn't want to start with too much and get overwhelmed. I think this sort of stuff will hopefully kind of snowball. So when I get started, I'll feel a little bit better. Maybe I'll have more energy, um, and then I can start adding more things as I'm feeling a bit better about myself. So that is the plan. And if you would like to follow me along this journey, turning my life around, then click subscribe. I would also be interested to hear some comments. If you have any comments for things that I could do to help the journey, or if you have any advice for me, I'm all ears. Uh, yeah, and simultaneously, if you click subscribe, like, and comment, you will be giving me a free dopamine hit, which will help motivate me, I'm sure. Um, if you need some motivation yourself, please use this video. Maybe this is the video that you needed to see to start your own journey. I believe in you. I think you can use this as your own motivation, and we can do it together. I'll be posting these videos weekly and letting you know how I get on. There's going to be ups and downs. I'm going to be sharing everything, full transparency. Um, so yeah, please, if you are feeling a bit low, maybe try taking that first step this week. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.